It's official. It's confirmed. I'm going to lock it in here right now. As the Toronto Raptors had two major goals to close off this season. The first, of course, improving the draft position. The second, developing some of the young talent out here on this roster. And this team is executing on both fronts, especially as of late. And one of the major goals, maybe you could argue it as a concern that Raptors fans had closing off this season. I'm locking that in here right now. So we're going to break down what's going on with the Toronto Raptors, how we're feeling after this last stretch of games that this team has had, and frankly, what we can expect from this Toronto Raptors team to close out this year. So lots of stuff to break down in this video. First, I want to say apologies for the lack of uploads as of late. Have been dealing with an absolutely brutal flu for the past few days now at this point. So, on the mend here now, on the mend. But just want to say, yeah, we should be back to a regular scheduled programming going forward. But we got some stuff to dive into as just then the Toronto Raptors have lost to the San Antonio Spurs in 89 to 123. A very, very ugly game. Of course, over the stretch of the season, we've been seeing the ethical tank games. This team has from the jump have been really trying to capture that flag, trying to improve their draft position by losing games, and we all know it. The coaches, Masai, Jakob Poeltl, they all said it from the start of this season, and it's been clear in terms of the rotations that are being ran, the guys that are sitting out, everything that's going on with this team. The Toronto Raptors are trying to maximize that draft position. And we'll take a look at this game because I do think there are some positives to take away, especially from the last stretch of games, because I didn't get a chance to talk about the Warriors one. But the Toronto Raptors' first and foremost goal is to not completely ruin their draft pick in this year's NBA draft. And while the Sixers and the Brooklyn Nets have been desperate as of late, as we have been in the past few games, but the Toronto Raptors, there were some concerns at the Miami Heat, who, if you see, even though they just won their last game, they've been 1-9 in their last 10 games. There were some concerns that the Miami Heat would be able to catch us out there in the Tankathon standings, and the San Antonio Spurs, the Portland Trailblazers, the Dallas Mavericks were all a couple teams that some people were looking at, given their kind of records as of late, as teams that could catch the Toronto Raptors. Now, of course, you look at the standings there now, we have a 6-game buffer on the Miami Heat. Now, they were brutal. They didn't win a single game. Andrew Wiggins had to put in 45 points for that team to end up getting a W to, get out there in the win column. So I think they're still a team that we do have to monitor, but I'm fairly confident, especially in this game against the San Antonio Spurs, who, did come out with some fire. Again, a team of Bismack, Biyombo. I want to put some respect on their name. I don't want to, even without De'Aaron Fox, without Victor Wembanyama, they had some guys do their things out there. Julian Champagny out there getting some revenge for his brother that we cut. Devin Vassell, coming back into his own after he missed the start of the season. They have some players out there on that group, but the Toronto Raptors, were able to secure the loss, which is crazy to say. It's a crazy thing. And Toronto Raptor Garrett Temple had some discussions in regards to this whole situation regarding fans cheering for this team to lose and saying it's BS. I'm a realist. I can understand the big picture, but I would never wish for my team to lose a game. I would never wish my players to go out there and not compete to win. And of course, I don't think anyone wants to go out there and see the Toronto Raptors have players get cooked, have players just look bad and stuff, but it's when the league incentivizes losing, when it's set up, when it's structured to do this, you can't blame the fan base for, and I'm not here, when the Raptors are in a close game, I usually end up cheering for them to win, just by habit, by instinct, everything that's going on, but I think Garrett Temple's fair to say this, I think he's right to say this, but I'm not in agreement with him in terms, I think it's right that he should think this, but I don't agree in the sense that, hey, if literally the league incentivizes losing when you're in a position like this, things need to change in the NBA. There needs to be a re-overhaul in terms of readjustment in terms of how the lottery system works, and that's kind of my opinion because we've had a few years now at this point where at the end of the season we are all in this position, and it just sucks to see. We do not want to see these games tanking. We want to, the Chicago Bulls, watching them play the LA Lakers the other night. That was a very, very exciting game. The Bulls, they're a team of mediocrity. Of course, they've been brutal as of late, but, in terms of recent seasons and stuff. But, it's fun to see your team compete and win and do different things. So I agree with Garrett Temple, and I wanted to make that known because, again, it's we've been tracking all the losses and, want to get that maximum draft pick, but he is right in terms of that, but it's the NBA needs to change, not the fan base. But that is what it is, and taking a look ahead in terms of the Raptors' next stretch of games, it's getting pretty desperate now. Like we have a West Coast stretch, Portland, Phoenix, Golden State, San Antonio. We're getting back to the dog water, the Washington Wizards, the Brooklyn Nets, the Charlotte Hornets, the Philadelphia 76ers. The Bulls have been better as of late. The Blazers have been better as of late. The Pistons have been good. So you get 3 games there where it's competitive teams, but then you have the Brooklyn Nets, the Charlotte Hornets, the Spurs as we saw tonight, and then the Dallas Mavericks. So it is not the most competitive stretch of games coming up, but in terms of likelihood that we are going to get passed up by a team like the Miami Heat, the San Antonio Spurs, that seems very, very unlikely here now at this point. But we shall see. We'll keep you monitored. We'll keep you updated. But of course, we do want to talk about the developments, the positives, because again, 5-6 minutes after a game that's happened, we don't get into whatever's going on. I mean, they lost 123-89. It was an ugly game. If you're looking for wins or losses, you're not getting what you're looking for in this game. But Scottie Barnes continues to be efficient. He had a very, very solid game against the Golden State Warriors. Really competitive. Showed flashes there. And even though there were a lot of turnovers tonight from RJ Barrett and from Scottie Barnes, overall, like in terms of his slashing, in terms of his efficiency, got some assists and stuff, Scottie Barnes looked very, very solid out there on the basketball court, which is what you like to see coming off of a big game against the Golden State Warriors, where he put up 29 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, and was very motivated to win that game. So and Scottie's closed out the season with some positives, and especially where this team has been down in the dumps. It seems as if he's been overlooked as of late, but that's just the reality of when you're in the position the Toronto Raptors are in. So that's been, positive there. Scottie Barnes playing well lately. And one guy I do want to bring up is Jamal Shead. And the Shead heads, they've been, coming in swings as of lately because Jamal Shead getting extended run, getting extended opportunities. He's really taking advantage of these moments, man. He is really showing up. And he went 2 for 8 from the 3-point line, had 17 points, 6 assists, 2 rebounds. Even though I had 3 turnovers, it is what it is. 7 of 14 from the field. Jamal Shead. He's impressing me. He continues to impress me with his intensity, how his level of performance, and all these different things. So shout out to Jamal Shead. That man is making me proud as a small guard to. It's giving flashbacks of the Toronto Raptors. Of course, he's not at the level of Kyle Lowry, even a Fred VanVleet just yet, but he's given flashes of a guy that really can be a long-term backup point guard option for this team moving forward. So that's what we like to see. And then maybe, we'll see how Quickley plays out, but maybe he sneaks into a starting position. So that's something to take a look at. Other than that, there aren't a ton of positives in this game. Ochai Agbaji really didn't have it in tonight's game, and that's kind of the reality in this one. Ochai, I made that smaller when just as I'm reading the stats, but had 2 points, 0-3 from the 3-point line, 1 of 8 from the field. Had 7 rebounds, played some decent defense, but that is what it is. Jamison Battle, 1 of 6 from the 3-point line. He's been getting extended run, and as the volume of minutes and volume of shots has gone up, his efficiency has dipped. So you expect that, for a rookie coming in and someone that was shooting at such an elite rate, to start off this year, but of course you'd like to see a few more of those shots go down. Jonathan Mobo, 6 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. He fills up the stat sheet every time he plays, but of course does still need some polishing. Jakob Poeltl, 3 of 12, did knock down some threes there at the end, but 10 points. Not a great game for Jakob Poeltl. Looks certainly rusty in this one. So, Orlando Robinson coming off the bench, it is what it is. We're just kind of box score looking at it here now. It wasn't a good game for the Toronto Raptors, but I like the development from Scottie Barnes and Jamal Shead, which, is a big positive for this team moving forward. So, lots of stuff happening there. Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comment section down below. You guys are the best to make this far. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Anyways, I'm signing out. Cheers.